Everyone knows that if you want to lose weight, you have to eat healthy. Organic, gluten-free, non-GMO, fresh, locally sourced, no preservatives, no additives, no artificial flavors, because chemicals will kill you. And don't forget free range, cage-free, fair trade, and harvested with love. If you are just trying to get started, eat healthier, lose some weight, feel better, all of this stuff can feel really overwhelming. Take a deep breath with me right now. I am your certified organic non-GMO personal trainer. Joking. I am a sports nutritionist, personal trainer, Melanie Black, and I am not going to use this video to pick on people who shop organic. If you've got the expendable income and you've got the choices and it makes you feel good inside and you want to, like, if you want to pick sides on that debate and vote with your dollar, I support you. I think that's wonderful. For me personally, I don't get involved with that debate because there's a lot that goes into it that is having to do with the economics of farming and feeding enough people, and there's a lot of things, okay? In other words, all of the reasons to do organic, free range, all of these different things, they're ethical reasons, they're personal, moral preferences, they're beliefs that one system is actually less environmentally impactful than another. And there is good arguments on both sides of this debate. One saying that yes, GMOs and pesticides make farming more economical in a smaller space so that you can feed more people with less waste. And then the other side of it, that the pesticides are killing the bees and the food has gone wrong with all of the modifications and all this kind of stuff. So there's a lot to unpack there. But the good news is for you, dear listener, if you're just trying to eat healthier, lose some weight, and become your most energetic self, so whatever things you are passionate about changing in the world, you have the energy to do something about them. Hey, guess what? You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. And in fact, worrying about whether something is organic or not may actually hold up or halt or reverse your fat loss progress. The truth is, when we get overwhelmed, when we have too many choices, we default to old habits. Anytime we're trying to implement a new healthy lifestyle, it's a lot of work because we have to break old habits and create new paths. And if we are spending all of our time, dedicating all of our time to figuring out whether something is organic, whether you should eat it or not, if it's got labeling that says on the front that it's gluten-free, or or oh, you shouldn't eat deadly nightshade vegetables, all these different little things, they are minutia. So in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what you actually need to pay attention to get started on your fitness journey and how to keep it going. And then later down the road, once you've got your healthy eating habits locked in and you're feeling good about it and you're making more money and you're doing everything and you want to go like, you want to get your food snobbery up into full effect and get all organic and do all your shopping at Whole Foods, if that's what you want to do, I support you. But until then, we have to prioritize. Number one thing, if you want to lose weight, you have to be in a caloric deficit. Caloric deficit is number one. You can do this on Twinkies and beef jerky if you wanted to. You probably feel like crap because you wouldn't have enough fiber, you wouldn't have enough certain balance of macronutrients, all that kind of stuff. Maybe not the best idea, but it can be done. So understand that if your goal is fat loss, first thing you need is a caloric deficit. When you're determining your caloric deficit, do not go too low. That is super important. Don't go too low when it comes to a caloric deficit. 300 to 500 calorie deficit per day is plenty to get it going. If you dive too much lower than that, you might end up with a sort of a binge eating cycle where you're like, oh, your body just takes over. It's not even a mental thing. You don't think about it. Your body will just take over and be like, need more calories now. And then you just eat whatever. You default to old habits. You're back at the calorically dense foods. So don't go too low. This is one of the reasons why vegetables are so wonderful for fat loss, is because they are high volume, high fiber, high water content, low caloric density. So we can eat a lot of food, a lot of volume of food when it comes to vegetables, feel sated, and still be able to easily go within that caloric deficit. So you want to, number one, calories. Number two, making sure you're getting enough protein, fat, carbohydrates, and fiber for your goals. I won't go into detail on how to figure that out in this video, but I'll maybe link to another video where I do, or you can get training with me at www.thenerdgym.com and I will give you a personalized meal plan. But getting back to the organic issue, just get whatever's cheapest and easiest. That is my plea to you. If you are just getting started, you're trying to get healthier, you're trying to get fitter, you're trying to lose weight, do not get hung up on front of the box labeling. It doesn't matter how ethically sourced your mac and cheese was, how organic your mac and cheese was. Mac and cheese is a calorically dense food. You're not gaining anything by switching from a typical big box brand of mac and cheese to a small little organic company who does things differently. It doesn't matter. We're still talking calorically dense carbohydrate, calorically dense fats, calorically dense ingredients in that meal. So it has absolutely zero impact on your waistline. In fact, it might even be worse than that, because if you're looking at that box of mac and cheese thinking, oh, this is the healthy mac and cheese, this is the stuff that's good for me, then you might end up eating more of it, because after all, it's healthy, right? It's organic, right? But what you really need to do is lower the calories if you're trying to lose weight. So really focus on caloric density. Vegetables, like I said, they're a great way to do that. If you're spending lots of money on vegetables, I mean, vegetables shouldn't be the most expensive thing in your cart. In general, your proteins are going to be the most expensive thing in your cart. Carbs are going to be the least expensive. Fats and vegetables, depending on what it is, falls around the middle. The other thing with organic produce, like, you're spending extra money. It's going to go bad faster because it was likely on the market shelf longer, right? Because it takes longer for them to cycle through that produce, because it's not as fast a turnover as the non-organic stuff, although that might be changing. But you shouldn't worry about whether it's organic or not. Worry about things that actually fit into your lifestyle. Does the price tag match your budget? You're going to need a lot of vegetables if you're using them as part of a fat loss meal plan. If you like vegetables, you're going to need a huge volume of them to keep you satisfied, so you don't end up binging on stuff that is off plan. So get vegetables that are cost effective, that are easy to prepare or require little or no preparation. Maybe you want to go for canned vegetables or frozen vegetables. Yes, those are fine. They don't have to be fresh. They don't have to be organic. They don't have to be non-GMO. Pretty much everything we've got at this point has been modified over centuries of how we breed the plants and everything. Anyways, nothing resembles what it was in the wild. Don't let anybody sideswipe you with this concept that there was once some perfect human diet that we strayed away from. Yes, how we eat has changed dramatically. Yes, packaged foods have an impact because they're highly calorically dense and we are more sedentary, right? There has been a social shift in how we have a relationship with food. We've gradually over time gotten more sedentary, require fewer calories, and the food has gotten more calorically dense with longer shelf lives. So it makes it very difficult in that environment to make the right food choices already. Do not add on top of that being swayed by front of the box packaging with things like zero net carbs. Net carbs, don't worry about it. Don't think about it. Net carbs are just a reflection of how much fiber to total carbohydrate there. You want to know how many carbohydrates are in it? You flip it around, look at that little boring black and white label on the box. If it doesn't have a label, number one, it's probably like closer to the macronutrient distribution that you need for success, aka healthier, right? So if it doesn't have a label, look it up on a food database. We live in the age of the internet, which is fabulous. So you want to make sure that you're getting a caloric deficit, number one. Doesn't matter where you get your food from. If you're getting a caloric deficit, you are going to start losing weight. If you want to improve your overall health, organ function, all that kind of stuff, make sure that you're getting enough water, enough fiber. Most adults need about 20 grams per day, 20 to 25 grams of fiber per day is ideal. You want to make sure that you're getting enough protein. Take your lean body weight, multiply it by 1. That's how many grams of protein. Easy. Fat. Remember that fat is very, very, very calorically dense. You don't need a lot of it, right? Don't go down the rabbit hole of like healthy fats for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because that will put you over caloric requirements so fast. Fats are good. Yes, fats are not evil, correct. But they are not magic either. You don't want to start spooning coconut oil into your coffee. It will not help. It's no better than that 500 calorie Starbucks at that point, once you start putting MTC oil and all kinds of supplements and junk in your coffee. You don't need anything fancy to start out. You don't need to put more barriers in your way. And also, carbohydrates are not the devil. Carbohydrates are fine. You can have them as part of your nutrition plan, and you should, especially if you're working out, especially if budgetary concerns are a concern. Okay, but please, my main plea with you, dear listener, is do not, when you are beginning your fitness journey, do not get sidetracked by moral attribution to your food. Okay, it does not make you a bad person to shop non-organic, genetically modified produce, nor will it poorly impact any aspect of your fitness journey, of your weight loss journey. You will still lose weight, you will still feel good. And then once you've got a grip, a solid, stony, diamond grip on your nutrition plan, if at that point you want to do your research and figure out what side of the argument you want to be on for organic versus not organic versus vegan versus not vegan, all these different things, then you can dive into that minutia. But don't let that be your starting point if your main goal is weight loss, if your main goal is fat loss. Start by looking at the foods you're already eating, the foods you love, figuring out where you need to cut calories, where you can add in low caloric density foods like vegetables, and try to have fun with it. Make it easy on yourself. Have fun with it. Food should be fun. It should be enjoyable. It shouldn't be a source of stress and dogma and guilt and everything else. Just enjoy it. That is my message for you today. And if you would like more training with me, you can go to www.thenerdgym.com. All right. I'm Coach Melanie Black, and I will see you next time on the Nerd Gym channel. Oh, please like and subscribe. I appreciate you. Thank you. Comment on what your favorite vegetable is below, and I will see you next time. Bye. 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 Bye.